We all are familiar with National Education Policy 2020. If you go back to history, after independence, we have many commission, many policy, many national curriculum framework. Just I will give you a very brief about that. After independence, in 48, 49, there was a commission that is known as University Education Commission under the chairmanship of Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. That was the first commission on education. Then after that, in 53, 54, another commission that is known as Modular Commission. Most focus was on secondary education, vocationalization of education. Then 64, 66, the National Education Commission, Kothari Commission. After that, in 69, there was a national policy on education. That was the first policy on education. Then in 86, the second policy was released, National Policy on Education. This is the third policy. 2020 is the third one after 34 years, more than 3 decades. And people have a lot of expectation from this policy. And to implement the policy, we developed National Curriculum Framework that you all might be knowing. The first National Curriculum Framework was developed in the year 1975 by NCERT. Then the second one was developed in the year 1988. Then third one in 2000. Fourth one 2005. Now after this policy, we are going to have 4 National Curriculum Framework. One for school education as usual, one for early childhood care and education, one for adult education. This is something unique, new for adult education because we have large number of illiterate people, so we have to also provide them the right type of education, not just literacy for the sake of literacy, but some skills which will improve the quality of their life. Then one on teacher education that was developed in 2009 by NCT, and now this time it will be developed by NCT in collaboration with the NCERT. So this is the background of the policy. So this policy has a lot of expectation. If you see the vision of this policy, the most focus of this policy is on Indian culture, Indian tradition, Indian ethos. That means till now that Macaulay system of education, we are saying some impact in our system, and Dr. Chinu was presenting this experiential learning 5P approach. See, why we are doing this? I will give you the theoretical background just after introducing the policy. So, Indian culture, because our children should be connected to their root. That is the most important thing, because you are talking of value system. I am very happy Hema Foundation is taking lead on value education. And this is the need of our. Once our children are connected to their root, that means root means what is our root? Our culture, our tradition, our value system, our language, and all these. And it has very serious implication for all of us. Very serious implication. At least our children should know what is our culture. We believe in joint family system. When we are comparing with the Western countries, what for India is rich, not materially, but spiritually. And our culture, our way of living, the way we celebrate different functions, the way we interact with the people, and because of this urbanization we are losing something. But if you go back to our village, you find many things. Our village, our community, the understanding of the people, the interrelationship, fellow feeling, belongingness. So all these are values, all these are part of our culture, and our children should know about this. That is why in policy you will find, when it has been decided, when we will come out with a new textbook, definitely we will add local flavor to the textbook. Local flavor, that means in our textbook we receive many complaints from different part of the country, but our tradition, our the name of the freedom fighter of this region has not been included in NCERT textbook. NCERT cannot do that. NCERT, if everything will be included, then you can see what will be the volume of the textbook. So that will be difficult. So that is why now this time we are going to have textbook which will include the local flavor. That means we may not have one textbook with the basic principle, the framework may be same, but and the competency may be same, but the content may be different. We are going to develop in a different way. Competency is same. We expect our children to develop the basic competencies, problem solving ability, critical thinking, etc. But the content should not be same. The children who are coming from this region, they should know the local history, local culture. So that is most important, so that they can be connected to their root. This is the most important thing. This is the most important recommendation of this policy, and that we are going to implement when we will design our curriculum framework, develop the curriculum framework, syllabus, and definitely we will take care of this. And our Indian knowledge system is very rich, and our tradition is very rich. We should take advantage of that. That has been neglected. That is the most important recommendation. The second thing that we need, very equitable and vibrant society. Equitable and vibrant society, because our children are children. They may be rich, they may be poor. All are our children. Children who are coming from tribal area, remote areas, slum, they should be equally treated. That is the most important thing. We are talking of inclusive education. Inclusive means it is not that only those who are having some problem, that means some visually challenged, or who are having some, that impairment is not the issue. That is one aspect we call disabled children. We are going to take care of them. But along with the children who are coming from remote areas and who are deprived, and they should get same type of education. This is very challenging. Similar education, that equitable and vibrant society. If we can provide right type of education to tribal children, to rural children, slum children, give them equal opportunity to develop their potentialities, definitely we can create a very equitable, vibrant society. That is the vision of this policy. Then the third thing we'll see, it is not that we'll limit everything to our country, our culture, our tradition. They should go beyond. Now we are talking of the whole country, that whole world. That is just like global village, and a lot of communication, sharing, fellow feeling, etc. So that is why we should move towards global citizenship ultimately, and that is there in our culture when we say Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, whole world is one family. So this is the vision of this policy, and how to implement this, that is the most challenging task before us. If this is the vision, then how we are going to implement this? A policy has recommended a structure. You might be knowing, because we implement this with a new structure. Earlier we had 10 plus 2, 12 years of schooling. Now it is 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, 15 years of schooling. And when we say 15 years of schooling, that means physically you won't find much change, because police has taken care of it. It is very difficult to bring out physical change. Overnight we cannot do this. Physical structure will be there, but mostly you will find change in curriculum, pedagogy, assessment. And particularly when it is 5, that 3 years of preschool will be added, integrated with class 1 and 2. This will be one stage as the foundational stage. And this is the most important stage. Our children are dropping out, particularly children from the tribal area who are coming to school after some years they are dropping out. What is the reason? Because our language, what we do normally, I do not know, suppose in Maharashtra, Marathi is the language, we write a textbook. The children who are coming from tribal area, in Maharashtra some tribal population, their language must be different. They might not be knowing Marathi. Even in Odisha, I know the situation. Children who are coming from tribal area in Odisha, their mother tongue is different. Regional, that the language is different. And what we are doing, we are trying to teach them through Odia, but they do not know at the early stage, and it is very difficult. They are not in a position to comprehend, and they are dropping out. They are not getting the benefit of, or not taking advantage of the system of education. That is why policy has taken into cognizance this aspect. Policy has recommended multilingualism. That should be, we should promote multilingualism. Children who are coming from tribal area, for them, we can develop textbook using tribal language. We may develop primer in the early stage, let them learn through mother tongue. After 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, when then we can expose them to the state language, regional language, so that they slowly they will learn the regional language. Then when they will come to the next class, other language, English, Hindi, other language we can introduce. So that is the most important thing of this policy, multilingualism, because children who are deprived, we should take care of them. Because language is the most important thing. That is, if they cannot understand, they cannot communicate, then they cannot understand. If we cannot reach them, then what they will do? They will leave the school. So policy, this is the most multilingualism. That is why for this equitable and vibrant society, we have to promote this multilingualism. All the languages are important. Even the dialect, local dialect, that should be also included. Let them learn initially. And maximum brain development takes place during this period. So let them learn through their mother tongue. That is the most important recommendation of the policy. Then, if you see the other things, now policy is talking about this holistic development. Holistic development. Now, what we are doing, because you all are principals and you have better experience, you know what we are doing in our school system or even in university system, what we are doing. We think if we can transact what is there in the textbook, then our job is over. And what do we expect from the students? Students should acquire mastery over the content, what is there in the syllabus and textbook. That is our expectation. They should secure good mark. If this is the expectation, then naturally we will do that. But by doing that, what we are doing? We are promoting their content, they are having content mastery, and we are taking care of only one domain of the personality, that is the cognitive domain. Other things are neglected. We call it co-curricular, extracurricular, other parts are neglected. We don't look into that. But now everybody has visualized, we are facing a lot of emotional problem relating to emotion. And in our classroom, what is missing? From our experience, we know what is missing. Two things are missing. Emotion is missing. Emotion and action. Emotion and action. Two things are missing. In some international study, it has been reflected. Emotion and action. When we are transacting, what we are doing? Just we are transacting for the sake of transaction, so that we have to cover the syllabus and our student will acquire mastery over that. But there is no emotion. There is no fellow feeling. And what type of relationship we have with the students, and how we interact. And earlier, what was the, because I have come from a government school, from a village school. We know what teachers were doing, and personally how much care they are taking, and now what we are doing. There is a lot of difference, because it is, we cannot blame the teacher. It is, we all are responsible for that, because the nature of society is changing and our expectation is also changing. So keeping in view that we have to take care of our children, and we have to bring about change in the classroom process, and we have to put a lot of focus on emotion. And Madam was highlighting this, how the children will be engaged. What we are doing, we are promoting emotion. When they will be divided into group, they will share their experiences, and that belongingness will be there. Yes, this group, we have to work together, fellow feeling, cooperation, and belongingness, all these will develop. That we need in our society, not that mastery over the content only. They will know the content, no doubt, but they will share among themselves, they will consult their parents, they may browse net and they may get material from different sources and they will organize the material, they will share their experiences with others and they themselves will come to the conclusion. That will really bring emotion to our classroom. And action, that means emotion action. We are giving, now we are talking of project, assignment, and we expect everything the student should do. We want to empower the student and also teachers. We should not go on delivering lecture. And we should create different type of environment, very conducive environment, so that children will do something. They will be in a position to exhibit their talent. That is most important in this theory. And we believe in strength model. We want to find out what they can do, what potentiality they have. Not that what practically what we are doing, what our children do not know, we try to find out. We try to find out weakness. That is, you see, in our Gita, what we say, we should see the positive aspect of a person, not the negative aspect. But in our school system, what we are doing, we try to find out what our children do not know, and we label them. Yes, you are dull because you do not know this. But what our children can do, what potentiality they have, we to identify. That is most important. That is most important. So that is why what we have to do, we have to identify their talent, we have to identify their ability, and accordingly we have to create very conducive learning environment. And they should feel, yes, they should enjoy learning. Although, because if you see the theory, I will tell you theory, that means if there is more social interaction, then there is better learning. Many research studies have been conducted. If there is more social interaction, then there is better learning. That is the theory, the fundamental thing. But in our classroom, we don't allow our students to talk. We don't allow them, we ask them sit silently. There should not be no noise. Sit silently. And what we are doing, we are killing their creativity. We are not allowing them to innovate something, to invent something. Just why we are doing theoretically? Because our impression is our children do not know anything. Their mind is just like blank slate or empty vessel. We have to provide all sort of information. That is the understanding we have developed, and that is the outcome of research also. But during those days, but now gone are those days, and now situation is different. New theory has come, a new definition has come. That should be implemented in our classroom. That is why we have to take care of our children, and we have to focus on holistic development. That is most important. And we know depression level, most depressed country, India. We claim we have very rich tradition. Our culture is rich. We have joint family system. We have fellow feeling, belongingness, everything. We claim, but why we are facing this problem? And who is responsible for this? And how we can overcome? All these things, so many issues are there. So this policy, from that point of view, there will be no hard separation. Policy say that whatever importance you are giving to this cognitive domain, logical, mathematical, same way, we have to give due importance to co-curricular and extracurricular activities. It may be games and sports, it may be music, it may be art, whatever it may be, whatever they are doing for the development of their potentiality, we should give equal weightage to all the aspects, not only to examination, to mark, and that is the expectation. No hard separation, lot of flexibility, multilingualism, holistic development. These are the common features you will find that in this policy. And when we see the structure, if you see the structure, that foundational stage, 3 years preschool and 2 years class 1 and 2, this is because if you see from psychology point of view, developmentally, the developmental characteristics up to 5 years, that means when they are coming to school, that means 3, at the age of 3, Around 7, 8, you will find common developmental characteristics that policy has taken into cognizance. That this is the foundation stage, the basic skill, literacy, numeracy will develop, and policy has recommended for setting up a commission, that literacy numeracy commission, that is going to be set up very shortly. And focus is to develop the basic competencies so that there will be no dropout. Our children who are coming from tribal area, from rural area, remote area, slum, all will be benefited. So that is the main focus. Then when they will go to class 6, from class 6 onwards vocational education, that is another most important recommendation of this policy. We are going to introduce vocational education from class 6 onwards. We will give exposure. Now what we are doing in class 9, we are asking children that you take this vocation, imposing. If it is introduced from class 6, they will be exposed. And in the process, they will know what type of interest and in which area they are interested. And teacher, they can decide the vocation as per their choice. We should not impose. Because recommendation is when they will complete school education, they will come out with at least mastery of one vocation. So that means every child has to learn. Not only they will acquire skills and competency, it will help them in developing dignity of labor. That is more, we should not look down. You are a class 4 employee or you are doing some manual work or something, you are inferior. That feeling we should not give. That dignity of labor should be there. That through vocational education, because it will be an integral part of education. No separate stream for vocational education. And people will not look down. When every child will learn, that people will not look down. Now people look down vocational education. Those who are inferior, they will go for vocational education. Not like that. In developed countries, everybody is learning. In Korea, it is 96%. In India, through formal system, it is around 5% as per the 12th 5-year plan. That in policy it has been reflected. So that means that is another thing, and a lot of flexibility. And in secondary stage, options. Many subjects will be introduced. And in our curriculum, keeping in view the 21st century, we are going to introduce this coding, artificial intelligence, other things are going to be an integral part of curriculum because the technology is playing a very significant role. That also we should take into account. So these are the recommendations of the policy as per the structure. Then what is important when we are saying this curriculum? Curriculum is something we are going to develop a curriculum where lot of flexibility and keeping in view the holistic, all the recommendation that should be holistic development, moral, ethical, emotional, all these aspects should develop. That is most important. And what type of curriculum we should have? Should we continue with the same type of curriculum, or we are going to have something different from the existing system? They have to create, they have to be involved, engaged, and everything will be there. So that will bring about a change. So different type of curriculum we are going to develop to implement this NEP 2020. Then what will be the reform in pedagogy? Pedagogy that we all know, and now you have seen this 5P approach and engage. Why we are talking of this engagement? And as per the recommendation, it is recommendation, the most important recommendation that should be experiential learning. Experiential learning. Let our children experience. We should not deliver. Even when we are conducting some training program, teacher training program, it should be also based on this experiential learning. There should be activities, project, assignment, some performance, some exhibition, and less lecture. And that is the experiential learning. And theory behind this, if there is, how they will get experience? If they handle the situation, then they can get the experience. When they will handle, there will be better social interaction, better sharing. So then this is the theory. And if you see the curriculum framework of 2005, what we developed in NCERT developed 2005, that is based on this pedagogy. But after that we have conducted some research in some states, UP and some other states. But there is no change in the teaching learning process. Our research says, though we have developed national curriculum framework in 2005, keeping in view the constructivist approach, experiential learning, And our expectation was that our teacher will facilitate, student will be active learners, classroom, nature of classroom will be different, where children will enjoy learning and assessment will be integrated with teaching learning. But we could not achieve that, our research study shows. But still, till now, the same traditional teaching learning process is going on. That is why this policy has come in a big way and recommended experiential learning. And if, through this experiential learning, we will see how we can make it more experiential, how we can provide variety of experience to our children. And one of the major recommendations that within that we find art integrated learning. Everybody is fond of listening music, dance, and performing something, because we have multiple intelligence and different type of talent we have. So that to promote that, what we can do, we can integrate art, local art, culture, that it may in different form of art. All these can be integrated into curriculum. And what we can do, we can promote the local things. By doing that, our children will understand what is the art form available in this area. And along with that, this will be a medium. That means to transact the content, we can use this as a medium, art integrated learning. We have conducted some study, we have adopted some blog, and we have conducted some study, and we have come out with a guideline, you can see, available. And that the purpose is to make our children more active, to keep our children engaged in a variety of situations, give them variety of experiences. And we can use theatre as a medium, theatre, and different from that, that is one recommendation. Another is that sport integrated learning. Everybody is interested to play. Children are fond of fun. Everybody, we are also playing. So that is a continuous process. And when we play, we enjoy. In the same way, we can integrate teaching learning with play. Play integrated learning, sport integrated learning, and ICT integrated. Nowadays, ICT is very common. Everybody, our children are having mobile phone. But the question is how they are using this. That is most important. Technology is good, but use of technology, we should know how to use technology, and particularly in teaching learning situation, particularly in classroom, how we are going to use technology. What we feel, but mostly in school, what we do to make parents happy. What we do, what is there in the textbook, we try to project it through projector. What is there to the students? Just we are using ICT. We have projector, everything. You see, what is the pedagogical change? There is no pedagogical change. There is no pedagogical change. Suppose I will make some PowerPoint presentation. I am delivering lecture, I will make some PowerPoint, and teacher is active. Learners are not active. So that is why how we can make them active. They should not be our theories. They should not be passive listeners. They should be active learners. They should participate. They should share. They should create. So for them, we should not. That means we should provide. Let them make presentation. While we will make presentation, we can divide them into group. They let them make presentation. So that we can do. And when they will make how they will make presentation? They will collect material from different sources. They will use different ICT tools, and the situation will be different. And our mindset that our children do not know anything, we have to provide all sort of information. We present nicely with animation, with color, and our student will know. That is wrong. That may be better, children may be attracted, but children are just passive listeners. We have to make them active learners. Same thing children can do if we empower them, if we provide them the facility. That is why ICT is going to play a very significant role, but we should empower our teacher and empower our student. They should know how to use ICT. It is a tool. It is a means, it is not an end. That we should understand. And that will create a different environment inside the classroom and also outside the classroom. Same learning theory, same principle, social interaction, most important. Using ICT, how they can make better social interaction. That is most important. It is not for transaction. Using ICT, how they can make better social interaction. Without ICT, we can have interaction inside the classroom. With ICT, our children can interact with anybody in any part of the world. So that is the strength of ICT. We should understand. The theoretically, we have to promote social interaction. If there is better social interaction, then there is better learning. It has been proved. Research says this. So that we have to take care of while integrating ICT. Then storytelling, that is another recommendation of the policy, because everybody is fond of listening story. Everybody. And how we can integrate it with teaching learning, bring it to the classroom, and how can we present stories. It may be good story, we can select good story, moral with moral, and we can present it to the students, and it will help in the development of values. And along with that also, we can create a situation, very conducive learning situation we can create. Because when we are talking of this constructivist approach, many models are there, IPB model, ICON model, many models are there. But what is the basic thing? Already first we have to create a situation, let our children observe. Let them observe. Then let them formulate their hypothesis. Let them think, formulate their hypothesis. Let them verify their hypothesis, what they have formulated. And after verification, they will come to the conclusion, what is right, what is wrong, what is they can prove. And that process is more important. It is not the way how we are transacting. It is how our children are learning, or what we are transacting is not important as per the recommendation of the policy, or what they are learning, that is not important. How they are learning, that is most important. The process part, till now, our focus is on product. We say it is product oriented education. Because product, what is the product? What is the percentage? What percentage of mark our children have secured? That is the product, outcome. But now we are talking of process. How they are learning? Are they sharing? Are they interacting? Are they exhibiting? Are they critically analyzing? Are they solving different type of problem? So there is change in our mindset, there is change in our approach, how our students are learning, that is most important. So that is the pedagogical. And similarly, when we are presenting a story, we can create a situation, then ask them many questions, let them come out with some suggestions, some observations, some hypothesis, let them verify. So we can create a very conducive learning environment, make our children active learners, not passive listeners. And we can integrate assessment with this. Because assessment, when you are talking about assessment is not something isolated. Earlier our thinking was that this assessment it will be done by the teacher, and it is something isolated, and at the end we will conduct assessment. No. With this theory, our perception has changed. Assessment is an integral part, it is a continuous process. From the beginning we should assess, we should give feedback, and we should help our children to learn. That should not be fear among the children. They are going to be assessed. They should enjoy learning. So this is the pedagogical recommendation. And to achieve this, when we are talking of this assessment, that assessment report what policy has recommended, unless we bring about change in the process of assessment, nothing will happen. We may bring about change in the curriculum. Our vision very nicely we have formulated, and curriculum, pedagogy, everything will do. If we will not assess properly, nothing will happen. That you see, because once our children know that the same examination system or same process they are going to face, then they will not bring about change. If a teacher will not bring, parents will think, oh no problem. You have to answer some question. You prepare go through the book and content. That is that. So that is why we have to bring about change in the process of assessment. What exactly we want to assess? We want to assess that content, knowledge or competency. Now it is clear, we want to assess their competency and skills, what they have acquired, what they can do, what they can perform, what they can exhibit. That we want to assess. Not only in cognitive domain, but in other domain of their personality. How they are interacting, that also we should assess. How they are sharing their experiences, what type of attitude they have towards other, and all this in a holistic way, because we want to promote these values. If really we want to promote these values, then we have to include all this in the process of assessment, not only how much mark they have secured or going to secure in different school subjects, in other area, because that we need to prepare good citizen, good human being, and that should be an integral part of this. That is why we are coming out with a holistic progress card. Holistic progress card, we call it holistic progress card, and it will be everything will be recorded. And when they will go to next class, they will go with this progress card. Now they are going with only mark. what does it mean? What does it mean? And if there is no change in behavior, if they're not interacting with others, not sharing their experience with others, but they're securing good mark, gold medalist, first class, first, but no social relation. They do not know how to talk, how to communicate, and there is no love, affection. There is no fellow feeling being. Then what type of education we are providing? That is why in assessment all the things are going to be integrated. We are coming out with a holistic progress card, and students will be involved in the process of assessment. Not only in teaching learning, in the process of assessment. That is most important. And how we are going to do that? Because you might be knowing and you must be doing in your schools rubrics. And when we develop these rubrics, how do we develop rubrics? Do we involve our students when we develop rubric? Do we involve our students? Should we involve our students? Now, as per the recommendation of the policy, students should be involved in the process of this. When we are developing rubrics, students should be involved. So that is most important. If we cannot involve our students, then what will happen? They will think that parents, the teachers have developed this, and they will not know what are the criteria, how they are going to be assessed. If they do not know how they will prepare. Nothing is confidential, nothing is secret, everything is transparent. We should involve students. We should also share our experiences and we should take their opinion. What are the criteria, how they are going to be assessed. So once they know that, they will prepare accordingly. And they will feel, yes, we are part of this, we have to do this. And we will give them opportunity to assess themselves. We will develop rubrics, they agree. And once they agree, suppose we are doing a debate competition, how do we assess? How do we make assessment in debate competition? We give some marks, suppose to fix, this is the 20 marks, and three judges are there. And how we are going to give this mark? On what basis? We see the fluency, content, language, so many things. So all these we can finalize in consultation with the students. Once they know, they can also make some assessment. There can be peer assessment, there can be self-assessment, there can be assessment by the teacher, even the parents. So when we are doing all this, we are making everything transparent and making it holistic, and we are going for 360-degree assessment. We call it 360-degree assessment. And it is a continuous process. It is a continuous from the beginning. And we are going to give equal weightage, not only weightage to only the external examination, what we are doing at the end, just to know to what extent we have been successful in achieving our goal. This is a continuous process. They will not feel they are being assessed. There will be no anxiety, no tension, and they will enjoy learning and they will participate and they will know their strength and weakness. That is the theory behind this. To what extent we can implement, that is a challenge and we have to do. But this is the theory, this is the background of this. This is the major three reform what policy has recommended. Policy has recommended reform in curriculum, reform in pedagogy, reform in assessment. And they have identified in the vision, they have also mentioned all these. It has been mentioned that we should be holistic, it should be flexible, there should be no hard separation, there should be multilingualism, and all these things should be there, and equal weightage should be given to all the areas, all the aspects, so that there will be holistic development. That is the concern of the policy. And this is for the school education, because policy has recommended something for teacher education and for higher education, many other dimensions are there. And policy has recommended that should be 4-year integrated program, because we need good teacher to implement this policy. Ultimately, everything depends on the teacher. And we have to involve community, we have to involve community resources and expert from the community to make it more vibrant, to make our classroom more vibrant. We have to involve, but that belonging should be there. It is not a school, government school, and the school belongs to the community. And everybody should come forward, contribute, so that we can provide right type of education to our students, to our children. So that is the expectation. That is why in teacher education now we are going to develop the standard for the teacher education, and now you will be happy to know that we have come out with the learning outcome. In NCERT, we developed this learning outcome in 17 for elementary stage from class 1 to class 8 initially, then class 9 and 10. Now 11, 12, that is also in the process. We have circulated the draft. When we developed this learning outcome, our intention was to shift the focus from content mastery to competency mastery. And keeping in view the learning outcome, we conducted National Achievement Survey in the year 17 on 22 lakh children all over the country. More than 700 districts we collected from the students we selected. And we assessed the performance, and we are not satisfied with the performance. Average score of class 3 is around 60. And when they are going to class 5, it is around 50. Class 8 still it is decreasing. In class 10 it is still decreasing. In class 10 also we cannot get. So that means, but in our board exam, other exam, our students are securing 100, 95, 99. But when we are conducting some competency-based test, performance level is low. And what we are doing in our school system, we are promoting that content mastery, not competency and skills. That indicate, that is in other study, ASAR and other study, class 5 children not able to read the textbook of class 2 or 3 or not solve the problem of class 1. So that means there is something wrong in our system. So policy has taken care of all this, and policy recommended that our teacher education system should be standard. That should be standard for the teachers, and that should be facilities, other things should be provided, and more recognition to the teacher and other things. Similarly, higher education also a lot of recommendation, multiple exit and multiple entries, and a lot of flexibility, and we have to make it international standard, because ultimately we will not keep our children in our country only, they will go out, and children or students from other country also come to our country. We have to maintain quality and make it international standard. And the administrative change, one that commission, we are going to have higher education commission with 4 verticals. One, now only UGC there, now UGC, AICT, NCT, all these will be merged. There will be one higher education commission, and one for this regulation, and one for accreditation, one for grant, and one for standard. Yeah, one for standard, that learning outcome what we are developing in school stage, for higher education also it will be developed, and they will take care of this. So ultimately we want a holistic change in our country by implementing this NEP 2020, and not only in school education, in teacher education, in vocational education, in other area. ICT is going to be integrated, and now we are going to have one forum, ICT forum, that IT that is going to be which will take care of both school education and higher education. So many other recommendations are there, but we are concerned with school education, and from the point of view school education, the pedagogical reform, curricular reform, assessment reform is very important, and we should try. I have given you a very comprehensive and picture of this NEP 2020, and now you can ask any question, anything you would like. I will be happy to respond. Thank you.
If anybody has a question, can ask, sir. It's a very good opportunity, because I don't think so everyone will have a chance to meet the director of NCERT.
Former director. Just completed my term in November. November I completed my 5 years.
Medium will continue, or all together we can come?
Medium means?
Medium, it means English medium, Marathi medium, Hindi medium.
See.
It means it is not required.
Now we have one formula, you might be knowing, free language formula. Free language formula, it will be still there. And only policy has recommended that in early stage, our children should learn through mother tongue. Early stage. That was the earlier recommendation also. Now the policy has recommended that because research shows, the findings shows, if they learn through mother tongue, then they can learn in a better way. Those who have learned through mother tongue, in higher stage they can learn other language easily. Because early stage they should be in a position to understand. That is the recommendation. Other things will continue. 3 language formula is there and it will be there.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, this board pattern will be continued 10 and 12 or something change in board pattern?
See, now we are coming out with one examination reform report, because when we will have competencies and the curriculum will be competency based, the assessment should be competency based, and continuous assessment will be there, 360-degree progress, holistic progress, all these will be there. So accordingly, the board exam will be there because for the purpose of certification, but a lot of change will take place in the existing exam. That pattern will change.
Right.
Sir, what about the teachers? Will they get groomed, trained?
Definitely, they without doing that, how?
Basic B.Ed or what will be requirement that time?
Yes. One thing what we have done, you might be knowing that NISTA program we have implemented.
Yes.
That we thought of in the year 17-18. We conducted the pilot in Tripura. I remember that Secretary Education Tripura was very much interested. Visited 3 times NCLT, requested. Now we'll do that, and we did that, and that was successful, implemented. And what we have done there, what we are discussing here, if you some of you might have attended, I do not know.
Going on.
Going on. It is going on. Now it is online, but in face-to-face mode we conducted less lecture, more activities, more project work. Teachers are doing many activities. Teachers are enjoying. Not students. When the teacher training program, because I have visited many states during those days, my travel was more, and every week I was traveling from one state to other state, because that was the important project we have undertaken, and less activities, less lecture, more activities, and more involvement. And teachers were enjoying. But our intention was that if the way we prepare our teachers, the same way they will prepare the students. If we deliver lecture to the teachers, then definitely they will do the same thing in the classroom. That is why we brought about change, and the recommendation of the policy we take into consideration, because policy we started in 14. Policy took 5 to 6 years, and NCIT was actively involved. And during those days we conducted 63 deliberations all over the country. I remember when I was in Bhopal, I came to Pune to conduct one deliberation. And after becoming director also we continued for that, and after that we invited some suggestions, then analyzed, submitted the report to the committee and everything, that we know what are the recommendations. Keeping in view those recommendations, we developed this teacher training package in NISTA. So definitely there will be a teacher training program, it is going on. And to implement policy, our teacher need more training on assessment, how to implement this assessment reform, how to implement this pedagogical reform, how to make it more holistic. All these things our teachers should know. That is most important. That we are going to do. And also pre-service teachers training program. The curriculum will be revised. 4-year integrated program is going to be introduced, and policy recommend till 2030. All the program will continue, but after 2030 only 4-year integrated program will be there. Because we need good teacher with having aptitude for this teaching profession, and also the skills and competency. Because approach has changed, so that is there. That is most important. And policy has given recognition to teachers, and more that salary and other things they are also taken. And a standard, that means as per the recommendation will come out with the standard that learning out.
Now what we want is teachers by choice, not teachers by compulsion. So when we have teachers who are coming to this profession with their own choice, they will be more passionate about delivering the learning outcomes.
Sir, could you throw some light on the 50-hour teacher internship training program?
CPD,
Yes.
Continuous Professional Development. See, now in policy we have recommended many things. But we have prepared our teachers in a different way. You know, you might be knowing that behavioristic pedagogy and constructivist pedagogy. And teachers have been trained through behavioristic approach, product-oriented approach. How they can help students to secure good mark in exam. That was the training.
Yes.
That we have provided in our BA training colleges. They will go and they will deliver 30 or 40 lessons. That everything is over. But in our system, when we call it internship, we send them to the school, they participate in all activities. Now we also provide them to the community. They participate in work. That community we call it working out. We place them to different schools and call it multicultural placement. Different types. We give them exposure. So now we have to give them exposure as per the expectation of the policy, as per the recommendation of the policy. Otherwise, we cannot implement this policy. So definitely there will be change in the entire program, and this 50 year, every year that continuously our teachers should update, and it will be online and keeping in view the need requirement wherever required it may be blended. So this is essential to implement the policy, and without that it is not possible. Everything depends on the teachers. So that is the policy taken.
Sir, our country is agriculture country. Curriculum based in school level regarding the importance of agriculture.
See, when we are going to introduce vocational education from class 6, agriculture is going to be one very important part all over the country. Because in rural area, one of the
parts of
so that is why we are going to give this exposure from class 6 onwards. And agriculture definitely it will be there. Now it is not there.
Yes.
That problem is facing, that is neglected. Yes, it will be there. All the locally available, all the vocations will be there. They will get the due weightage.
So one question, how will be the implementation phase? From the foundation, from the higher education, how will be
See,
the...
now we have already started the groundwork. We have started the groundwork. Now we are preparing some working paper for the National Curriculum Framework. Once this National Curriculum Framework is developed, then we will develop the syllabus and textbook. We have prepared a plan. It will take 1 year to develop the National Curriculum Framework. And after that, we will develop the syllabus, develop the textbook. It will take 2 to 3 years because we have around more than 300 textbooks. So that it will take time, but we have already initiated the process. And similarly, in the simultaneously also teacher training program and other facilities, infrastructure development, it will continue.
two things I wanted to add.
When this CNEP will be implemented throughout India?
If you go through the policy, that the target is 2030. 2030 within 10 years it will be implemented. Then another 10 years we'll see the 2040. But we have already started the work because it will take time. Overnight we cannot implement. So target is that the work has been started.
Two things I wanted to add. One is, as sir talked about the 360-degree assessment. So अभी क्या था जब आप assessment करते थे तो question paper तैयार करते थे. Question paper तैयार करने के बाद वो लोग आंसर देते थे, फिर आप उसको evaluate करते थे और marking system होता था. Now you will have to have lots of situations to assess. How is a child behaving in this situation? And then you will be assessing. So Hema Foundation videos, whatever value education curriculum we have developed, can be used as an assessment, a ready-made assessment tool for certain areas which you want to assess behaviorally, psychologically, emotionally, and through the values that they have imbibed, whether they have imbibed or not, because the whole program is experiential. We do a lot of tasks. So for example, in the value of fearlessness, one task that we gave to little children of 2nd and 3rd standard, how will a cartoon character, your favorite cartoon character, will look when he is afraid, and how will he look when he is confident. So they are now experiencing it. अच्छा, जब डरते हैं तो हम कैसे दिखते हैं, and they have uploaded those pictures on the portal. So you can use these activities for assessment. One thing is this, I wanted to add what sir was saying, and one more thing. NEP wants to actually promote reflective thinking, creative thinking, design thinking in the children. And our traditional system, which we were following till now, did not have that, capacity to do that. कैसे मैं आपको एक एग्जाम्पल देके बताती हूँ उसका. Are you all carrying a pen and a paper? जिनको नहीं है, जिनके पास उनको दे दीजिए. Keep a pen and a paper ready. किसी के पास नहीं हो तो यू कैन रेज योर हैंड. पेन यू हैव? पेन यू हैव? I am giving you 10 seconds. I am giving you 10 seconds to draw a house. Quickly draw a house and show it to me like this. Draw a house quickly and show it to me like this. जिसका हो जाए वो तुरंत दिखा दे.
देखो बेटा.
दिखाया. Very good, very good. सब एक दूसरे के हाउसेस देख लो जरा. सब एक जैसे.
All are human beings.
सबको एक जैसा हाउस बनाना सिखा दिया केजी ने. ऐसा हाउस में कोई नहीं रहता. But all our generations draw the same house. I have done thousands of trainings in corporates. मैनेजर सीईओ सब ऐसा हाउस बना के मुझे दिखाते हैं. आप बताओ कौन सी क्रिएटिव और डिजाइन थिंकिंग आप सिखाओगे बालकों को? सो ये जो बोर्ड टीचिंग है, बेटा ये ऐसा पेड़ होता है, ये नदी होती है, यहाँ पर पहाड़ बनाते हैं, उसके बीच में सन बनाते हैं, वो जिंदगी भर वही बनाए. डोंट गिव देम दिस, मेक देम थिंक. This is what NEP wants to do. Thank you.